Welcome to Lions Live 365. I'm your host, Michael Ayers, and today we are doing the secondary breakdown. This is a roster breakdown. This is like episode 3 or 4 of it. Offensive line, defensive line is already up. Um, but y'all asked for the secondary, so here I am giving y'all the secondary. Let's get right into it. We're going to talk about the biggest disappointment of the season. DJ Reed, who is going to turn 30 during next year. I gave him a D plus. He's a number 2 corner in the role of a number 1 corner. He doesn't have elite speed. He doesn't have height and length. So when you don't have those things, you cannot be out here making mental mistakes. You're too old to be making these mental mistakes. And two, you don't have the speed to recover. You can't be doing what you've been doing. Like the PFF grade that they gave him was 65.2. He had an up and down season. Only got a couple of interceptions. Was hurt for a good chunk of the season. Was getting just destroyed by certain level of receivers that a number 1 corner would have to cover. And the main cover scheme that we are in, we need a better level of corner. My thing about hamstrings and injuries and all that, if you aren't ready, bruh, do not come back. Because the tape you create makes you look crazy when Puka's out here double moving you to death. And like, bro, you gotta do better. Like, it's crazy how good he looks when he's not going up against a great receiver. If like it almost feels like DJ Reed is like, it shows you whether you're a really good receiver or not. Because if you're an A-level receiver, DJ Reed is nothing to you. If you're less than that, DJ Reed is locked down. You might as well be Revis. But man, like the way he played this year, I gotta give him a D plus. Hopefully hopefully he bounces back, man. Like that, it was I was really disappointed in him this year. Couldn't believe it, right? So we're gonna talk about somebody that had an up and down season, and we're gonna talk about Terrion Arnold. The crazy thing about Terrion Arnold is how young he is. He's gonna be 23 next year. He's gonna be younger. There's a good chance that he'll be younger than the majority of our draft class that comes in next year. The NIL has changed the ages of the guys that come out. At the end of the day, Terrion Arnold's only 23 years old. He had some significant growth this year, but at the end of the day, the part of that growth was him playing really poorly in a couple of games, still getting flagged, still getting handsy. Then it got to the point where even though he had cleaned up his technique, even though he had did the things that he was supposed to do, he started getting phantom flags because he had a reputation for being handsy. So it's one of those things. I'm a fan of him. I see the growth. My only thing is, how many times are we as Lions fans going to deal with somebody who grows and starts to show promise and then they get injured? So it's one of those things where it's like, man, this like the bad luck got to stop at some point. But at the end of the day, man, like I really got love for Terrion. I gave him a C minus. I see the growth, but we still have to grade him based on what he did, and he did have an up and down season, right? So for me, I'm really focused on his future, not what he did last year. But I really still believe, and we gonna move to somebody I'm starting not to believe in at all. Ennis Rakestraw, we can't even get him to the regular season. We can't even get this man the regular season. I don't know what to do. What can we do to get you past preseason, sir? It's shoulders, hamstrings, whatever. It's just like it don't matter. Like it's all bad. And I don't want to talk about somebody negatively for injuries. And I feel bad for these players because at the end of the day, you put in all this work. You work your whole life. You finally like you are this close to your dream. Nobody dreams of making the NFL and being trash. Every time a person dreams about making it to the NFL, they make it they dream them dominating the NFL, becoming stars, becoming legends. And at the end of the day, Ennis Rakestraw has can't even get on the field. He's a second round pick. This is the one of the most disappointing picks that Brad Holmes has ever made because it's a second round pick. It was at a position of need, and at the end of the day, you know, the you struggle in the preseason, You can't survive training camp. And how you gonna improve if you always hurt? How you supposed to improve? You ain't on the field. The only way you can get better at football is playing football. There's not enough rehabbing in the world that's going to get you prepared to guard Amon Ra and Jameson Williams. And when you finally start playing other teams, rehab not going to get you ready for Jamar Chase. You gotta do better. Like, and it might be us, man. It might be the way that we practice. It might be the field. It might be the training conditions. I don't know. But it needs to change. I need to at least be able to verify if he's good or not. And I can't do that if he's always hurt. So I couldn't even grade him. Like, he's 24. He's gonna be 24 years next year. Like, if he were in the draft this year, he wouldn't be the oldest. It's 25-year-old players that are going to be in the draft this year, which is insane to me. Moving on, we're going to talk about the one-hit wonder himself, the star of the Legion of Home. We got Nick Whiteside. I was actually asking during the back half of the season why we don't just play him. The way Amit Robinson was getting beat like a drum, I was sitting there thinking, like, maybe we could just, hey, that guy that played good against the Bucks, let's do that, right? So he had one great game. PFF graded it at 83. So just to give you an idea of what that means, like 90 and up is like Hall of Fame, legendary, like first ballot Hall of Famer, right? 80 is essentially like a Pro Bowler. He played like a Pro Bowler in that one game, right? He has good size. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. He's going to be 26 next year. And really, I can't grade a guy off one game. Like, that's just, but he signed, dude. He signed to a futures deal. We do still have him. So, hopefully, he can find a way to earn himself a spot. Now, moving on. We get into the safeties. Thomas Harper, 26 years old next year. I'm giving him a B+. He might be one of the best players that played in the secondary this year. I feel like him and Avonte Maddox had really good years with us. They were all spot duty. He has good instincts. He makes plays on the ball, and I would feel a lot more comfortable with, like, just trusting Thomas Harper if he didn't have concussion issues. Like, you get concussion. I think he got 2 concussions last year, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, a Pro Bowler is a 80 on PFF. 77.8 is kind of letting y'all know the level at which he's playing. And there were times last year where I was sitting there wishing that Thomas Harper was here. Because once he got hurt, I think we had Daniel Thomas, and people was dunking on him. He wasn't in the right place, wasn't making tackles. It was a lot going on, man. The obstacles and challenges that we have and for this team is just so unique. It's so crazy what we're going through and what we have to navigate. And speaking of crazy, let's talk about it. Right? So the next person might be my favorite player on the whole team, right? And that's Kerby Joseph. It's like, hey, third round pick. Kerby Joseph's out of Illinois. Didn't know him from a can of paint when he was drafted, but he comes to the team, and I realize he has elite ball skills. Like, he's special at getting and taking away the ball. Just to give y'all an idea what I mean, like, this dude led the team in interceptions. I think he played 6 games, and like 2 of them he could barely move, and he still got 3 picks. He's led the leagues in picks. He's been an all-pro in this league. So the idea that he could be replaced is just not realistic. We saw what happened when you replace all pros like Frank Ragnar with average. It's just a steep decline. Like, even if that player is good, when a guy is great at something, right? Like, he's not the best tackler. He's not no Cam Chancellor or anything like that. He might get burnt on being a little bit too aggressive. time or once or twice. But when you are great, you might be the best in the league at something that, and you disappear, it affects your team in a way that can't be explained. We got, it felt like no turnovers. To be honest, man, he might have had more turnovers last year than this team got as a team this year. So like it's one of them things like you can't, and with that knee injury and the fact that we can't figure out what it is, anytime they can't tell you like, hey, he gonna be all right. Like when was like say Sam Laporte is back. Sam Laporte is back. He already on certain. He over here got like levels of rehab and all that. That I feel way more confident than with Kerby Joseph because it's like, hey, we don't know. And last time I seen him talking, he was crying and stuff. Dude, only next year he only gonna be 26. Like I feel so bad for him because at the end of the day he just got paid. The way the Lions set up contracts, they set up the contracts with like maybe the first year is basically guaranteed, but after that, man, they could probably get out of Kerby Joseph contract 2027, 2028. It's already 2026. He's not gonna see most of his money. Like I really hope that he can bounce back and be part of the foundation of this team like he was, because the two safeties that we have were so important to us as a team. It's kind of amazing that we had to play an entire year without him. Like it's crazy. I couldn't grade him, of course, but you know who Kerby is. He got that dog, man. Um, and then since I'm here, I might as well talk about the other one, right? Brian Branch is the problem eraser. We just throw Brian Branch at every problem that we have. Oh, we struggling against a run. We gonna put him in the box, blitz him. You know, we not getting to the quarterback. Look, it used to be that way that we would just blitz Brian Branch. You know, hide. You know, it was just one of those situations. Oh, we got the slot corner can't do his job. All right, put Brian Branch on. All right, we wanna be in base against 11 personnel when they have three wide receivers. Put Brian Branch on the slot. Like he was the answer, and the problem that I have with that is that Brian Branch is best when you don't give him man coverage responsibilities. When you just allow him to look at he's so smart. If you allow him to look at the pass concepts and just blow up plays, he you, you've unlocked the best version of Brian Branch. But because we got people that can't do their own job, now Brian Branch got to do it for him. And I don't like the fact that my best players are being put in positions where we're not making it about them. We're making it about covering it up for the trash that we got, the role player that can't do their job. So the number one thing I want to see is a nickel corner. We need a nickel corner in whatever way that we need to find it. Nickel corner. I'm tired of Brian Branch having to be the nickel corner. I want him to be roaming. I want him to be the guy that like, hey, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden he just appeared. And just having two wild cards in the back of the secondary just made so much sense, and it has worked for us time and time again. And I feel like we lost that with Kelvin Sheppard. We lost, and I think that's the biggest gap between Kelvin Sheppard and Aaron Glenn is the fact that Aaron Glenn got the most out of these two players. Now we got to figure out what we're going to do without him. Because with this Achilles injury, one, we don't know when we're going to get him back. And two, we don't know if he's going to be the same. Because a lot of these injuries are 2-year injuries. And especially with the physicality that he plays at the weight that he plays it at, I want to be very careful about how we use Brian Branch. I gave him a B+. He's only going to be 25 next year. He's that dude. All right. And then I think that's everybody. Now we're going to move on to the free agents, man. Free agency. I don't want none of these dudes back but Avonte Maddox and Rocket Sin, man. Amit, I'm cool. I want a completely different level of slot corner. I like him as a person, but as a player, no. I'm just tired. Daniel Thomas, no. Arthur Marlette, I appreciate your services, but no, Jalen Mills didn't even really get a chance to prove himself. But no, uh, Avante had a really good impact. He has experience playing safety now. He has experience playing slot corner. I want him back if the price is right. Right, Rocket Sin. He can be a good backup. At the end of the day, I don't want any. I don't want these two to be anywhere near starting. But as backups, I really want them back. And that's how I see it, y'all. That is how I see the secondary. To be honest, it might be the with the injuries. With the injuries, it might be the second. No, it might be the worst. It might be the worst unit that we have right now. To be honest, like the O line has like a elite level player. Like you could say, Penei Sewell is an elite level player. Taylor Decker is really solid. Uh, Tate shows promise. So that they can't be worse than the secondary. The D line has Hutch, and whatever's left of Aleem, cool. You can think that he's gonna bounce back. Tyleek, I like him. So like when I look at it, even like hey, AQM gone, but if he come back, like the D line, the fact that the D line, which is a unit that I don't even deem as strong, to me is better than our secondary is extremely scary, especially with the amount of capital that we put into it. Because once you take those safeties out, once you realize that Ennis Rakestraw hasn't played, once you realize that Nick Whiteside has only played one real NFL game that was really good, you start looking like DJ Reed was out here getting fried, and he got a like he keep his hamstring keep getting hurt and shoulders and all that. It's ridiculous, man. So with that being said, this is a unit that I expect a lot of attention to go to. Um, Later on in the draft and in free agency, this unit has to be upgraded. We cannot act as Terrion's gonna be good and DJ Reader, DJ Reed is gonna be good and we gonna get Ennis Rakestraw back. Like no, we need some upgrades. And that's my final thought. If you have any input, leave it in the comment section. If you don't agree with the grades or anything like that, let me know. Um, Whether it is game day, draft day, or any day in between, it's Lions Live 365. Please like and subscribe. Peace out. Appreciate y'all.